Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to the Fomo Factory, and let's take a look at some specific altcoins because it might be a great time to buy some. Finally, I can get to say it. It took a long time for me to say it, but I finally can. So what altcoins am I exactly looking at? Well, let's take a look at that. So like the video already. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification, and let's get right into it. So first thing, this is the Bitcoin or altcoin season index. Now, what does it show? Well, if we are in the green zone right here, it means we are in a Bitcoin season, and if we are in the red zone, it means we are in an altcoin season, right? We are deeply into Bitcoin season right now. Of course, that's what we noticed the last couple of months. Altcoins were bleeding a lot against Bitcoin. Bitcoin was outperforming the market completely, and it seems like it's turning around a little bit, right? So whenever we are in alt season, that's not where you want to buy altcoins, of course, right? It's the other way around. You want to buy altcoins when we are deeply into Bitcoin season, so that if we get to altcoin season, you make your money, right? And now it's turning around right here on the 90-day ROI time frame. On the 60-day, we were sitting so super low, but it's also turning around right here. And on the 30 days, we are even now leaving Bitcoin season. Now, that's really interesting to take a look at, of course. I'm not saying we now also will go deeply into the red, but up is up, right? So how to make some money from this? Well, yesterday I dropped a video explaining how this chart is looking like, that the Bitcoin dominance is getting rejected right here, and that we will probably follow a pattern that goes like this for the coming years and then finally break out, right? Not saying, by the way, that we will go down in a straight line. This is just a, the pattern overall that will play out. I think that we probably do something like this, but you know how that works. Nothing is in a straight line. But overall, we go from top to bottom. That's my expectation, of course. Now, also what I said, of course, is the total 3. This video is slightly pre-recorded, so how the total 3 is now looking when you watching this video, we'll see. But at the moment, the total 3 is breaking out on the weekly time frame right here, and on the daily time frame we have a couple of days confirmation, but it's not enough for me yet. So I do want to make very clear that I want to see some confirmation, right? We want to stay above this. Right, so what would be ideal is that we break above, retest, then go up. And you buy on the way up after the retest, right? Because if you buy right here, same case, we go down, we fall way down below it, and we go all to the lower side of the range. Like I showed you in yesterday's video, that's also what happened the previous time, right? We were in the same pattern, we broke out, you thought like, okay, now we're gonna fly, so let's buy, and then what happens? We go all the way down and altcoins crash like crazy, like we haven't seen before. This is still a possibility, okay? So I really want to make sure that we take that retest and go up. If that doesn't happen, I'm not buying, okay? Please make sure that you have that clear. Otherwise, you're really wrecking yourself. Now, best case scenario, let's talk about that. What if we do such a retest and we go up right here, right? I mean, that's possible that we do that. Bitcoin did it, so now it's time for altcoins maybe, right? What am I looking at? Well, there are, of course, altcoins that always outperform the market, and there are altcoins that will underperform, right? So you do want to pick the stronger coins, of course, right? Now, and then it depends, like, are you going to do this for a long-term investment, or do you want to make a quick trade out of it? If you want to do this for a long-term investment, make sure that you know everything about every altcoin in your portfolio, who's the mother of the developer, everything, right? You want to know, because otherwise, if you do not have faith in the project, and there will be a crash, you maybe panic sell, but if you have no outlook, then, you're going to get emotional, and that's where you get wrecked. Now, let's assume you know that shit. What am I looking at right here? Well, as you maybe know, I'm a big fan of crypto gaming. And why I'm a fan of crypto gaming, it's simple. I mean, gaming is big, crypto is big, it's beautiful to combine. The last bull market has proven a little bit that even with the most terrible games, you can make the biggest gains. So in the next bull market, when we actually have some good games and good studios and good distributors and good platforms, yeah, then I think that's going to be one of the biggest niches in crypto. Now, I'm mostly looking at, like I just said, studios, distributors, launch pads, that kind of stuff, because a single game can always die, right? People get, and even if it, like, people get bored at a certain point, they want something else, especially in these times where everything is going so fast. You do not really want to stick to a single game too much. So although there are some good single games out there, I would be a little more, always treat them as very high risk, high reward, basically. So the things that I'm looking at are things like Altora, Engine Starter, Gala, Games for a Living, Falcon Forge, Seedify, that kind of stuff. So we go over a couple of these, right? We go over a couple of these. Now, one that I really have not spoken about a lot, but it's very interesting, is Games for a Living. Games for a Living is a project that has been released by Seedify not too long ago. As you can see here on the chart, it's not that old. And people call it the Gala killer. Now, I don't think that's the case, but they say that because it's a little comparable to Gala, right? And Games for a Living has a very good product. It's a bold statement, but it has the best team in crypto gaming. I don't think there is a team in crypto that has more experienced and legit crazy good people than Games for a Living. I mean, the founder of EA Sports is in the team, just to say. So that's very important. On the marketing side, they are a little weak right now, but they might do that on purpose, because people that went into the pre-sale, like me, still get their tokens vested next month, and that will be the last vesting, and I think it's like the 14th of May, something like that. So that could cause a dump, right? Because this was the day, somewhere here, I think, 12 maybe, was the day the tokens got vested. So you can see what kind of dump happens then. But right after the dump, it does pick up. And you can see the strength of this coin. Ever when it's getting this low, it's now already up 36% from its lows. However, I do want to show you that if you look at this chart on the slightly shorter time frame, it's still a high, a lower high, a lower high. We had some kind of a fake out, but overall it did not stop it from making another lower high. At least, you know, it's still in progress, but we have to have, you know, we have to get a real good closure above this level here, which is definitely another 20% to stop that downtrend. And there are still lower lows, lower lows, lower low, lower low, lower low. So on the shorter time frame, it does not look that strong to me yet, but it's a long-term good conviction play, if you ask me. Really good. So definitely go check it out. GFAL is the ticker. Another one that's doing super good is Seedify, my biggest holding personally. And Seedify is having a good combination of good news and good market conditions, and I like that, because the good news for Seedify is that, for example, at the end of the month they're going to release a very micro cap project that can definitely do very well. They just released Chain GPT. It did like 40x at the top, so that gives people a lot of confidence, of course, like, okay, now let's go for the next 40x, because there's a lot of money to be made with Seedify. So that's good, and of course the market is looking a bit better, so that's already good for Seedify to give it such a pump, right? It was kind of crazy. So once the bull market really starts and we go into really pre-sale season, and then it's Seedify, then it's going to do crazy things. For now, what do I expect for Seedify? Some people asked it in the Telegram group as well. If you're not part of it, down below is the link. Be there. You can talk to us, ask your questions, share your opinions. It's nice. Be there, please. Please, don't leave me alone with these people. But on the shorter time frame, I am cautious. CDFI was mostly ranging between well, give or take $1 and 125, as you can see right here. A lot of ranging. It now broke out, but I want to see it sustain because we also broke down to the downside, but we got up as well and went back into the range. So the same could happen, of course, here, stay there, and then go back in the range as well. So it doesn't say anything necessarily, but if you do not have a position into S fund and you feel like I do want to get some, then I would not FOMO in at this resistance, and you know, in advance, sorry if it goes up from here. But if you just look at the trend, which is what we do, of course, then I would say wait for a pullback to 125. I can even back that up. Well, how confident I am with that by showing you something, and I will show it right here. This is my, I'm gonna pull it up one sec. This is my address. Here we go. Where do we have that? See the CDFI. Because I just think that CDFI, to give you some information, I think it will go back to 125 because it was a hard pump, and not looking at the levels or whatever, a hard pump is usually not sustainable, right? Usually. So I think that we will see a correction. And this fake out here happened in like a minute or so, so I don't count this. But this pump right here was pretty nasty hard, right? So I feel like, okay, that's already a reason for me to believe that it's going to correct. Also, we are sitting at big resistance right here at 150, give or take, right? And even up to 160, it's big resistance. So that's another reason. We have the bull market support band coming in at this support line here as well. And maybe by the time that we actually get there, the 50 daily moving average will come in here as well. Plus I thought from, it's not on my screen right now, but the 100 weighted moving average, give or take, is somewhere in that area also. Plus on the daily time frame, and I think even on the weekly time frame, yeah, we are pretty overbought right here. So these are a lot of different reasons combined for me to say like, okay, a pullback is pretty realistic to expect. And it is so realistic that I'm gonna show you this right here, that I've sold a bag. I've never sold any CDFI, but as you can see right here, I've sold my, fucking hell, it's not, I've sold my CDFI here. 12,500 tokens, I have sold that. Why? Well, because I love CDFI. Therefore, I sold it. Because, very simple, if I love the project, I want to get more tokens. And how do I get more tokens except buying the dip? Well, by, you know, maybe finally selling some resistance areas, right? And I'm going to just buy back in right here, right? So, and that's 12% lower from where we are right now. So it's not a humongous trade, but I'm not going to risk my precious tokens too much. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good trade. And if it does go up, I still have a decent tier. So I'm willing to miss out on that part. So that's for me, you know, but I think this is going to be a pretty decent trade. Sold at 140, give or take. You know, if it goes up way higher, I'm gonna sell a little bit more, and if it comes down, whatever. But that's for CDFI, project that I absolutely love, and I just think this is going to do exceptionally well in the next bull market. And it's not all about gaming, so I will go through it a little quicker. One project, of course, is Delysium, is AG. Let me put that on the 4-hour time frame. And something in this chart is looking pretty good, because it was not looking that good. Delysium released at 3 cents, went all the way up to like 40-50 cents, give or take, right? But the price is holding up at around that 20-25 cent area pretty well. And this is the project that is generating me most money, because I get 1,700 of these tokens daily because of the nodes that I'm running. Yeah, I was a big investor. I had a high conviction in this project, and it turned out to be a great decision. And a lot of you guys did that with me as well. So congratulations again. I don't even need this one to go to $1 as long as the price is staying stable, because you can also stake this token for a pretty high APR. And yesterday I dropped a video on how to farm this. I do expect this price to go down over the longer term. That's realistic with the amount of APR that they are giving out. But then again, they have raised a lot of money, so they can take the measurements to keep the price stable. Plus, if we get a bull market, you don't know. So yes, if you buy this token, at least take it. Check out my yesterday's video. There's a lot of money to be made right there, especially if the price just stays stable. Then you easily 10x your bag. It's easy, please. So check that out. But Delysium, what the nice thing is that at first I thought like, oh shit, here we go, because the price was going down, found support right here, broke it, right, found another piece of support right like here, give or take, but broke it as well, then now find support right here, like, so it's some kind of a ladder, right, here as well, by the way. So it looks some kind of a ladder, and that's very bearish, where you go up, you stay there for a while, break it, then you stay there for a while, break it, stay there for a while, break it, stay there for a while, break it, and then laddering down, 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 right? But the trend has changed a little bit, and therefore I am going to put it on the slightly lower time frame, because if you look at this downtrend that it's been in, and I need to draw the line correctly for this one, because I found something in the chart that, yeah. So this is kind of the downtrend that it's been in. Let me remove these. And now it's looking a little bit better, right? Because we got rejected, we had some troubles right here, but we broke out and we tested it as support and support again. So the shorter term downtrend seems to be over, at least. Not saying we go up to the moon right now, but you know, the trend has changed, so that's looking good. Another project that I find very interesting that did very well from the launch as well is ChainGPT. This project completely mooned. This one did a 40x. We all made a lot of money from this one as well. If you followed my videos, I made like a lot of money with this. But what I like, and I'm not talking about this project so you now buy it on the open market so you pump my bag. Definitely don't do that if you think that's the reason. That's not what I'm doing right here. But what I am saying is also this thing came out. People, of course, took their profits. You'd be a moron if you don't. The chart comes down pretty hard, right? But it stabilizes right now, right? It's now stabilizing. And I'm not saying it can't go down anymore, but at least the downtrend for now is also over, right? So might as well go up from here. Looking pretty good. Now, a lot of projects for the slightly longer term as well. Ultra is really, like they call it, the Steam of crypto. It's the place where you can play your games, basically, right? It's a distributing platform, give or take. And Ultra was also in this downtrend since November, and it took for Ultra slightly longer to break out. We broke out in the the first week of April, give or take. And once it broke out, you see that the breakout is pretty big as well, right? From the breakout to the top, 77% was kind of crazy. Also above the bull market support band right now. Ultra is finally showing some steam. So funny. Yeah. Ultra is finally showing some steam right here. And on the longer time frame, bro, honestly, I think Ultra could do very well. And about all these altcoins, again, like I said at the beginning of the video, don't necessarily buy them right now. Wait for the just look at the total tree. Wait for the retest and then look at it. Let me put this off Bitcoin, by the way. Okay. But Ultra has a market cap of $100 million right now. And if you especially check where it came from with this 800 million, then it's still very far from there. And yeah, you missed the bottom, but it's not about buying the bottom. And please, that's some mentality that you have to get out of your mind. Because if you feel like I should have bought it right here, yeah, but how could you know that that was the bottom? That's so hard, right? You could have known that this was the bottom, or this, or this, or maybe this, right? But it was all throwing your money away. Why? Risking for this exact point. I don't know, bro, but if you buy it now somewhere at I don't know, here or so, then you have a way better entry than for example here. And you at least have a lot more confirmation that the bottom is at least already in. Right? I'm not saying it is in, could always be lower, but it's showing more strength than it did right here or here, right? So please don't try to chase the bottom. It never works. But that's Ultra. I really like that project. Super, I really like that project as well. I think Leo has really something going on right here, especially with his imposters game, Gigamarks. I don't really know about that, but Super, it's still ranging. You know, it's out of its downtrend, definitely, right? But it's still ranging between these two lines. But the difference is that when it was ranging right here, it was below the 50 weekly moving average and the bull market support band and this diagonal trend line. And now it is above all of these, right? Above all of these. Now it's here. So now it has 3 major resistances as support. That's wrong. So I rather buy it right here than here. While it's the same level, but the timing makes it a lot more bullish. Right, so I will make some tutorial if you like on TradingView what the best indicators are to set up if you like. Another one is Fomo Factory. By the way, always look at their Bitcoin pairs as well, right? Because I'm now talking about the dollar pairs. But if you feel like, yeah, but I want to buy it with Bitcoin, then the charts look a little different. Because if I look at Super Bitcoin, this chart is absolutely not fucking bullish to me, to be honest. Right? It's basically sitting at its low. It's hanging there, right? So one slight, you know, pump in the Bitcoin dominance again or whatever, and it crashes, right? So that's the thing. So compared to Bitcoin, it's maybe not the safest asset you can be in, right? But yeah, okay. So always keep that in consideration. Fomo Factory, let me check. Yeah, it's a big range still, right? Between $5 and $2.60. It's now sitting slightly at the highest side of the range. But we had a lot of chances at the low side of the range as well. We spoke a lot about that. I hope you took them. It's now also on the weekly time frame looking better for these altcoins individually as well. I really haven't seen it yet, but it's looking a lot better because now we also broke the 50 weekly moving average and we broke the bull market support band again. So that doesn't necessarily say a lot, but you know, in the bear market we get rejected off of this thing, right? We got rejection, we got rejection, we got rejection. So we got a rejection right there as well. Now we are at least seeing this as support for a while. So the trend has completely changed for this one as well. If we look at Fomo Factory Bitcoin, bounced off of its low pretty good. But again, also, if the Bitcoin dominance does shoot up, which I don't really expect that much though, but it could happen, then it does not have a lot of room to go down, right? There's some room of like 10%. After that, you're fucked, right? So it's high risk right now. Not the coin itself, but the chart. Nakamoto. Yeah, with Nakamoto, the thing is that I always said like, well, it shut up so hard, right? And wait for the retest. And we talked a little bit about this retest of 18 cents. Like, okay, you know, we could DCA right here. But the big retest that I expected around to, you know, 14 cents never came. Yeah, this thing is strong, right? And that it's holding up for a couple of months right now, right here, doesn't mean that it can't go lower. But for now, it's been really strong. But yeah, buying this thing right now, I don't know. We had a great chance right here. It's a big difference right here. At least go somewhere to the middle. I still expect like 14, 15 cents on this thing. And it's maybe a lot to ask. But then again, it went up 7x. 7x. You know, I'm talking about a 50% correction compared to a 7x. It's not like that's pretty common after such a pump. Yeah, Gala, of course. Gala, cannot forget about Gala. Gala is also, let me take a look on the daily. above the bull market support band again, that's good. Above the 50 daily moving average again, so that is looking fine. However, you know, the stochastic RSIs are all a little getting overbought on these time frames, so I would be a little careful, and therefore I really said, Joe, wait for the total 3 to reset, right? Because then you have the confirmation that if it retests, that you buy the support, right? But while that happens, it could also reset the stochastics, right? And then it has room to go up again, so that it really goes up. Gala. Gala is the one that I would really DCA into, because over the longer term I think it's a really good play, but it's definitely possible for Gala to come down another 30% from here, right? And you do not want to be in too much money while that happens, of course. Gala Bitcoin is, yeah, not so good. Because overall, if you put it on the daily, what do you see? We have a high, we have a lower high, we have a lower high, we have a lower high, we have a low, we have a lower low, we have a lower low. So it's the trend is down on Gala, right? It's down. As long as we do not really clearly break above, well, that's quite a lot higher, break above like 30% higher and close there, then the trend has not changed. So Gala is still going down. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Engine Starter is also one of these launch pads that's just releasing pretty good projects lately with nice returns. And you can see that you don't only make 10, 20, 30x's on their releases, but you also just then made a 5x on the coin itself. If you bought the bottom, of course. But yeah, Engine Starter is one that I'm definitely looking at buying, and I'm not a big fan of buying the pumps, but yeah, then again, this coin at least is showing some strength, right? We have a low, we have a high low, we have a high low, we have a high low, high, we have a higher high, we have a high high, we have a high high. It's now kind of in the process of making a lower high though, so I would be a little careful, see what it's going to do. Altora is also, yeah, the chart's looking on fire, man, but Altora is one that I'm definitely dollar costing into, although I think that, yeah, we should, I don't know, man. I really would like to wait for the pullback to happen and see where these coins are by then. I can give you the levels, of course, but we still don't know if this is going to turn out to be a fake out or not, right? Because if it's not a fake out, then altcoins won't come down that much, right? Then we can buy it here. But if it is a fake out and we follow this pattern again, and we even maybe break down below it, like we did in the last bull run, yeah, bear market, then it's a little different, because that would mean that Altora could come down here, for example. That would mean that Gala could come down to a cent, okay? That could mean that see the 50 cents. That would mean new lows for altcoins, and they will completely wreck the fuck out of you, okay? So please don't let this pump drag you completely into a bull market that's not there yet, okay? Be careful, be careful. But these are some things that I am looking at when the market is definitely turning around. AVAX is a coin that is really strong. Would not buy it right now. Look at the major resistance that it's now sitting at. It could definitely have a fake out to $22 or so, or maybe even a little bit more. But overall, if you look at this trend, and let me put it on the weekly, you can see that we had major support right here. We had some resistance. We failed again once we got back into the range. It was hovering, right? So now it's still at that same level, and yeah, the only different thing is that we are sitting above the 50 weekly moving average. But is that enough for it to this time to push out? Could be, but I'm not too much fighting the trend. That will wreck you. So Hex is another one. Just kidding, I'm not buying that shit. Is there anything else? Yeah, Joe has been going on a rampage as well, by the way, but it's a little too late. Chainlink is doing pretty good, by the way. Chainlink is still in the range, but it's really been knocking on that door lately, and it's not been in the lower side of the range since the beginning of this year. So Chainlink is showing strength because also above the 50 moving average, above the bull market support band, it broke this trend line, 3 big resistances that now turned into support. I wouldn't be surprised if Chainlink is one of the coins that will break out if the total 3 is holding up right now. Definitely. So yeah, there are a lot of coins that I could go over. These are mainly the ones that I'm looking at. I know I forget about a lot, but then the video will take like 3 days. But if you really want me to check out some specific coins, leave it down below. If you want to trade some coins, guys, I really mean this, make your account on Bybit. Link down below, because there is an iPhone 14 giveaway going on. All you have to do is at least trade $100 or more. Just buy or sell something like you usually do, because an iPhone 14 is worth $1,000. I don't know, but it's $3,000. Why not? What's letting you down, holding you up? I want to leave it here, guys. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like the video timing, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, turn on the bell notification, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.